Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Town Council of the Town of Clarkdale for Tuesday, April 28th, 2026 at 3 p.m. I'd like to officially call this meeting to order at 3 p.m. Okay, roll call. Councilmember Babbitt Pierce.
Present.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Present.
Mayor Prudhomme Bauer is absent, and Vice Mayor Hunsutter is present. Item number 3, call to the public. The Town Council invites the public to provide comments at this time. Members of the Town Council may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to ARS 38-431-01, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. Persons interested in making comments on a specific agenda item are asked to complete a brief form and submit it to the clerk or liaison during the meeting. Each speaker is asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes unless a different amount of time is noted on the agenda or is determined by the presiding officer or by a majority vote of the council, commission, or committee. We have one person that's filled the form. So I would ask Carla Erickson to come on up to the podium and please state your name and if you're a Clarkdale resident.
Hello, it's Carla Erickson. I'm a resident of Clarkdale, Vice Mayor, Council, Lou. I read in the town manager's report about the recycling center. I really appreciate the town taking the time to get that center open. You know, we used to have curbside recycling, and when we changed to waste management, they took that away. It used to be Taylor Waste. So I go there all the time, and there are people that are abusing that center. I get on people about throwing styrofoam in there and just regular trash, but it would be a travesty if we had to close that center down. We talked last time when Waste Management was here and the contract was awarded to them about trying to get curbside recycling to those that want to pay for it. I also have a home in a very small community that has like 580 people, and we have curbside recycling every 2 weeks. So I'm not sure why in a town of this size or next to Cottonwood that we can't get recycling back on our curbside for those that want to pay for it. Those that don't want it, that's fine, but we're losing a lot of recycling because people are not willing to go down to the center. But like I said, there are a lot of people throwing things in there they shouldn't, and I don't know how you stop that. Unless you have an armed guard to say, you know, don't throw that in there. So I would think we want to go back and ask Waste Management again. I know they didn't want to do it before, but maybe ask them if we could go back to curbside. And I'm not sure when the contract's up with Waste Management, but I know Taylor Waste is still doing single stream recycling with their trash. And so maybe it's an opportunity to rebid this and see what Taylor Waste comes back with, because I really hate to lose that recycling center. But I understand too, you can't have the city staff picking through it, and we can't pay extra for the people that are abusing it. So I really would encourage you to look at a way to get this back to maybe just curbside for people that want to pay. So thank you. And also, the mayor's not here, but I'd like to thank her, even though she's not here, and Council Member Jones for going to the Airport Commission meeting, and also for the city of Cottonwood to talk about the airport. The citizens of Mountain Gate and Clarkdale appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else like to do public comment at this time? Charity, do we have anyone online? Okay, we'll close public comment then. Thank you. Item number 4 is reports. We've got departmental reports that have been submitted in the council packet for the building permit report, grant report, human resources report, magistrate court report, Parks and Rec, Police Department, Verde Valley Humane Society, water and wastewater report, and finance report. Does anyone want to speak to any of these or have any questions? Okay, and do we have any other reports?
Yeah, I would like to give a brief update on what Carla referred to as what happened at the Cottonwood Council meeting last week. So I think, as most people know, myself and there's been a group of local residents that have been attending the Cottonwood Airport Commission meetings. The mayor came to the last one with us as well and spoke. She came to the last 2 and spoke as well. And this last week, they had done a flight pattern study on the airport. And the airport commission made some recommendations to the city council of Cottonwood, and they made some changes that might be beneficial to Clarkdale. So I just thought I'd share those because we've been working as a community really hard to try to look at some things that will help us. One, they have are going to remove the recommendation that planes, when they take off, fly to 1,000 feet before they turn. And that is one of the biggest things that has pushed traffic out over Clarkdale. So hopefully planes will be turning before they get to the Clarkdale boundaries. They've made sure that they're going to reinforce that the flight altitude pattern for small planes is 800 feet, which again allows them to turn at a much earlier point before they get out over Clarkdale. And three, one of the things we talked about is how this isn't just a Clarkdale problem. It's problematic for people who live in Cottonwood and Verde Villages. And the only way to really address that is to reduce the number of planes in pattern. So right now there's a recommendation that no more than 4 planes are in pattern. And we asked for that to be brought down to 3 planes in pattern. And the city council of Cottonwood approved all 3 of those measures. And so the airport manager will be implementing those in the upcoming weeks, I hope. And hopefully we will see a lesser impact of flights up into Clarkdale. That and the south-facing winds are out of the east-southeast at 7 miles an hour right now, which requires them to take off to the south. That also helps us. But those are 3 really important things that we have been trying to work with the commission around. There's been some leadership change at the commission. And I want to give a special shout out to Carla and Mary Lou Rose and the whole VVR group, because there are residents who have really stayed on top of this issue and have not let it fall to the wayside when lots of folks have gotten discouraged and just have given up. So that's all.
All right, so that it for reports. Any other reports? Okay. Next up, item number 5, consent agenda. There's 3 items on consent. Does anyone wish to pull an item for further discussion? So we have the 3: approval of minutes, resolution number 1760, making appointments to public safety personnel retirement system, local pension board, prosecuting attorney services for the town of Clarkdale. Do I hear a motion on those?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's been approved by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce and seconded by Councilmember O'Neill to approve consent items A through C as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, next item is 6, new business. We have a proclamation proclaiming May as Historic Preservation Month. I will read the proclamation. Okay, proclamation proclaiming May as Historic Preservation Month. Whereas the town of Clarkdale is rich in history and cultural heritage, reflecting its origins as a planned smelter town and its continued evolution as a vibrant community, and whereas historic preservation is an essential tool for maintaining the town's unique character, fostering community pride, and strengthening connections between past, present, and future generations. And whereas the protection and preservation of historic buildings, sites, structures, and cultural landscapes contribute to the town's economic vitality through heritage tourism, reinvestment, and sustainable development. And whereas the town of Clarkdale supports and promotes preservation through its Historic Preservation Commission and ongoing efforts to recognize and protect significant historic resources. And whereas Historic Preservation Month, established by the National Trust for Historic Preservation, provides an opportunity to celebrate the nation's heritage and to encourage public awareness of the importance of preserving historic places. And whereas the town of Clarkdale encourages residents, businesses, and community organizations to participate in activities that promote historic preservation, including educational programs, community events, and stewardship of historic properties. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the mayor and town council of the town of Clarkdale hereby proclaim the month of May as Historic Preservation Month in the town of Clarkdale and encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the town's rich heritage. In witness thereof, we'll be signing it. With that, Clover would like to come up and say a few words.
All right, Vice Mayor, council members, thank you for being here. Just kind of like everything the proclamation just stated, we just thought it was a great idea. Clarkdale's rich in its historic nature. We have the Historic District and the Historic Preservation Commission, so we thought it made sense to follow suit. There is a national historic preservation month is May as well. So we thought it made sense to collaborate or to to do the same. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that. Yes, Clarkdale is very committed to its historic preservation and historic culture, and this is very appropriate. So thank you, everyone. Okay, so I guess we need a motion on that. So that looking for I guess, a movement on proclaiming May as Historic Preservation Month.
Vice Mayor, I move that we approve the proclamation declaring May as Historic Preservation Month in the town of Clarkdale and authorize you and the town clerk to execute the document.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce and seconded by Councilmember Jones to approve the proclamation declaring May as Historic Preservation Month in the town of Clarkdale. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, next item is resolution number 1759, declaring December 31st, New Year's Eve, as an observed town holiday. With that, we'll have Finance Director Brittany Earls to speak on the topic. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. The Town of Clarkdale staff is proposing the designation of December 31st or New Year's Eve as an officially observed town holiday. This designation aligns with our current operational needs during a period of reduced service demand. It's consistent with practices recently implemented by peer municipalities, and it supports employee retention, morale, and the town's ongoing efforts to maintain an effective and engaged workforce. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have about implementing this as a town holiday.
Any questions from anyone? Mhm.
Not a question, just a statement that I think it's great that we are making sure to take care of our town staff in the ways that we can. We know everyone works so hard, we can't pay more, but having one more paid holiday a year hopefully will make a difference for folks. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Thank you. We appreciate it. At this time, if there's no questions, staff recommends that council approve resolution number 1759, declaring December 31st or New Year's Eve as an observed town holiday, and that you authorize the mayor or vice mayor and town clerk to execute all supporting documents.
Do I hear a motion for that?
I move that we approve resolution number 1759 declaring December 31st as an observed town holiday and authorize the mayor and town clerk to execute all documents.
Second?
Second.
Okay, it's been approved by Councilmember O'Neill and seconded by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce to approve resolution number 1759 declaring December 31st, New Year's Eve, as an observed town holiday and authorize the mayor or vice mayor and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, so the next section is going to be very tedious. We have a lot of public hearings tonight, so we ask that you bear with us as we go through a number of town hearings about the code. So I guess, do I open the public hearing first and then have them come up, or Okay, I guess Scott Ellis is going to be doing the presentation on that. Okay. Um, again, need a little help here. Do I open the hearing first or have the presentation first?
He presents first.
Oh, presentation first. Okay, so proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, Council, Scott Ellis, Community Development Director. The presentation's pretty quick, and it does incorporate everything individually listed. So I'm not going to go through each ordinance one by one. If you're not tired of code updates yet, we have this one for you. So it's Chapter 7 of the international codes, building codes, everything that we look at for building permits. Why this matters is keeps Clarkdale current, supports safe development, and improves clarity and enforcement. I would like to point out that our building official did work with neighboring jurisdictions. Everybody is updating to the 2024 international codes. Some places have already done it, and if not, they will be soon. So the purpose of the update is maintain consistency with nationally recognized building and safety standards, protect public health, safety, and welfare, ensure compatibility with current construction practices and technologies, provide clear enforceable regulations in the town. The core intent is to regulate erection, construction, alteration, repair, use of buildings and structures throughout our community. Next slide, please. So the codes that we're adopting and updating to 2024, these are all 2024, except for the International Energy Conservation Code is 2018. But the ones we're looking at doing is the International Building Code, IBC, International Residential Code, International Plumbing Code, International Mechanical Code, National Electric Code, International Fuel Gas Code, and again, the 2018 International Energy Conservation Code, the 24 International Fire Code, the International Existing Building Code, the International Property Maintenance Code, and the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. Those are all the codes that we typically see needing to be referenced when people are doing construction within Clarkdale. Some of the more local amendments, so we can make amendments to these codes, and then we put them in our own town code section. So they do come out of the international code books. We're just adopting these amendments to fit specifically to Clarkdale. So some of those local amendments are administration and enforcement. Building safety unit has authority. The building official, code official roles are clarified. Permit processes with extension procedures if somebody needs to extend a permit or something. Abandonment thresholds, minor work exemptions, external coordination. So floodplain rules are deferred to Yavapai County Flood Control District. So we make sure that we put those kinds of amendments in there, mention that. Again, consistency across codes, the administrative chapters and terminology aligned across all the code families. So everything that I just mentioned, making sure that those are all aligned and cohesive with what we want and what we look for in Clarkdale. The energy and electric code as adopted, and then the new additions are the International Pool and Spa Code, the International Property Maintenance Code, and the International Existing Building Code. So those are the ones that we see that we want to take additional items out of. It helps our building department. It does help also if we run into enforcement issues. It gives us those parameters in there within those codes to address that. The impact of the adoption, again, improve building safety and resilience, provide clarity for applicants, contractors, and staff. And that's important. Like I mentioned, we're in line with the rest of the communities around here. So it won't be 100% the same because some of the requirements we have here, Sedona might be different, Camp Verde might be a little different, but we're all on the same basic codes. So you will see a lot of similarity. So a contractor comes from one community to ours over here, they're not going to be surprised by a lot of big differences. It does reduce ambiguity in code interpretation, aligns us with regional and national standards, and like I mentioned, it does support defensible enforcement actions. That's all I have for my presentation. We take questions. Building official is present with us this afternoon to answer any specific code questions that you may have. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Scott, you've given us the reasons for doing this. What's the argument against, if any?
Some people might say that they become more restrictive. So the International Code Council updates every 3 years. That's a little too much for most communities. Most communities are usually on a 6-year cycle to update. So that's pretty reasonable. That's why we won't be looking at, we're coming back in 3 years to do updates. So there's not always a lot of pushback. Sometimes you'll hear that, it does provide for more restrictions and requirements and this and that. But overall, it might change some things. It's not going to make it harder for somebody to build a house or anything like that.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Is that my understanding that most of these changes are really for safety?
They are, correct.
So it behooves us to approve this to encourage safety of the people building and the people living in houses in Clarkdale.
Yeah, it's almost every time there's a safety aspect to the changes that get made throughout the codes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I think we'll go ahead and open this up to public comment, or public hearing. What we're going to do here is open it up for ordinance number 448, 449, 450, 451, 452, and 453. I'll open it up for public hearing and then I'll read through each of the ordinances. Okay, so we are in public hearing. So ordinance 448 is amending chapter 7, building article 7-1, building code of the town code in its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Building Code IBC as amended. Any comments on that? Anybody wish to comment? Okay, the next one is ordinance number 449, amending chapter 7, building article 7-2, International Residential Code for 1 and 2 family dwellings, IRC, of the town code and its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Residential Code, IRC, as amended. Any comments or questions on that? Seeing none, we'll move on to ordinance number 450. Amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-3, Plumbing Code, 7-4, Mechanical Code, 7-5, Electrical Code, 7-6, Fuel Gas Code, and 7-9, Energy Conservation Code of the Town Code in their entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Plumbing Code, IPC, as amended, the 2024 International Mechanical Code, IMC, as amended, and the 2023 National Electric Code, NEC, as amended, the 2024 International Fuel Gas Code, IFGC, as amended, and the 2018 International Energy Conservation Code, IECC, as amended. Any questions on that or comments? Seeing none, moving on. Ordinance number 451, amending Chapter 7, Building Articles 7-8, Existing Building Code, and 7-20, International Property Maintenance Code of the Town Code, and their entirety, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Existing Building Code, IEBC, as amended, and the 2024 International Property Maintenance Code, IPMC, as amended. Any questions or comments on that? Seeing none. Ordinance number 452, amending Chapter 7, Building of the Town Code by adding Article 7-22, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, ISPSC, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, ISPSC, as amended. Any comments or questions on that? All right, we're almost there. Ordinance number 453, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-7, the International Fire Code, IFC, of the Town Code in its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Fire Code, IFC, as amended. Any questions or comments on that? One last, any questions or comments on any of them that I've read?
I just have a question.
Mhm.
So anybody who has a building permit currently or is in process, are they just, that is held to the previous code, not to the new code?
Correct. They wouldn't be held to this until the effective date. And so anything that's in process right now would still be under the 2018 codes.
Okay, any other questions? I guess at this point, we'll go ahead and close public comment, public hearing. Okay. Moving on to item number D, ordinance number 448, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-1 of the Building Code. Any discussion on that from the council? Okay. I'm looking for a motion on that.
Madam Vice Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 448, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-1, Building Code of the Town Code in its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Building Code, IBC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce and seconded by Councilmember O'Neill to approve ordinance number 448, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-1 of the Building Code of the Town Code in its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Building Code, IBC, as amended by and authorized by the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, item number E, ordinance number 449, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-2, International Residential Code for 1- and 2-family dwellings. Any discussion from the council? Anyone wish to give a motion?
Madam Vice Mayor, I move that the council approve ordinance number 449, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-2, International Residential Code for 1- and 2-family dwellings of the Town Code in its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Residence Code as amended and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilmember O'Neill and second by Councilmember Marnie Babbitt Pierce to approve ordinance number 449 IRC of the Town Code in its entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Resident Code, IRC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next one, F, ordinance number 450, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-3, Plumbing Code, 7-4, Mechanical Code, 7-5, Electrical Code, 7-6, Fuel Gas Code, and 7-9, Energy Conservation Code. Any comments or discussion from the council? Anyone care to make a motion?
Madam Vice Mayor, I move that the council approve ordinance number 450, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-3, Plumbing Code 7-4, Mechanical Code 7-5, Electrical Code 7-6, Fuel Gas Code, and 7-9 Energy Conservation Code of the Town Code in their entirety and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Plumbing Code as amended, the 2024 International Mechanical Code as amended, and the 2023 National Electric Code as amended, the 2024 International Fuel Gas Code as amended, and the 2018 International Energy Conservation Code as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents.
A second?
Second.
It has been moved by Councilmember O'Neill and seconded by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce to approve ordinance number 450, amending Chapter 7, Building, Article 7-3, Plumbing Code, 7-4, Mechanical Code, 7-5, Electrical Code, 7-6, Fuel Gas Code, and 7-9, Energy Conservation Code of the Town Code in their entirety, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Plumbing Code, IPC, as amended, the 2024 International Mechanical Code, IMC, as amended, and the 2023 National Electrical Code, NEC, as amended, the 2024 International Fuel Gas Code, IFGC, as amended, and the 2018 International Energy Conservation Code, IECC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, ordinance number 451, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-8, Existing Building Code, and 7-20, International Property Maintenance Code. Any discussion from the council? Anyone care to make a motion?
Madam Vice Mayor, I'll move that the council approve ordinance 451, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-8, Existing Building Code, and 7-20, International Property Maintenance Code of the Town of Code in their entirety, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Existing Building Code, IEBC, as amended, and the 2024 International Property Management Code, IPMC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay. It's been moved by Councilmember Jones and seconded by Councilmember O'Neill to approve ordinance number 451, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-8, Existing Building Code, and 7-20, International Property Maintenance Code of the Town Code in their entirety, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Existing Building Code, IEBC, as amended, and the 2024 International Property Maintenance Code, IPMC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. I think we're almost there. Okay, next one, H, ordinance number 452, amending Chapter 7, Building of the Town Code by adding Article 7-22, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. Any discussion from the council? Anyone care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. As everybody else's voices have already gotten tired. Madam Vice Mayor, I move that the council approve ordinance number 452, amending Chapter 7, Building of the Town Code by adding Article 7-22, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, ISPSC, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, ISPSC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, the town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents.
I'll second.
Okay. All right, it's been moved by Councilmember Jones and seconded by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce to approve ordinance number 452, amending Chapter 7, Building of the Town Code by adding Article 7-22, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, ISPSC, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, ISPSC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And I think we're at the last one. Okay. Ordinance number 453, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-7, International Fire Code. Any discussion from the council on this? I'm looking for a motion.
Madam Vice Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 453, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-7, International Fire Code, IFC, of the Town Code in its entirety, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Fire Code, IFC as amended and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, it's been moved by Councilmember Babbitt Pierce and seconded by Councilmember Jones to approve ordinance number 453, amending Chapter 7, Building Article 7-7, International Fire Code, IFC of the Town Code in its entirety, and providing for the adoption of the 2024 International Fire Code, IFC, as amended, and authorize the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk to execute all documents. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We did it. Oh. Okay, next up is item number, thank you. Next up is item number 7, future agenda items. Anyone wish to add anything to the future agenda items?
I don't want to add anything, but I just want to do a shout out that for the public to please watch the agenda because we are in budget season and we've had a couple of meetings and we'd love the public to be more involved and there will be presentations so people can get intimately knowledgeable about our budgets. That's it.
Thank you. Did you have anything? Okay. All right. All right, anything else for the agenda? All right. All right, so item number 8, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We'll adjourn this meeting. What time is it? My screen went blank.
3:36.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.